Hello everyone and welcome to a different type of video. The summer transfer window has just ended and so that means Arsenal have set their squad for the first part of the season. In today's video we're going to go through the squad, address the depth in the squad and just discuss the pros and any potential fault lines that are in this Arsenal team as it stands. One thing before we start, obviously Hincapié signed on deadline day, Kiwior left the club. However, the create a player option isn't working on this, so Kiwior is actually Hincapié for the basis of this chat for the season. So we will get into it, we'll discuss the players as we go through it, and we'll address how strong the Arsenal squad is as a whole. For me, I'll lay my marker down early doors. I believe this could be the strongest squad in the Premier League. But without further ado, we will get into it. Please, if you are new to the channel, like the video and subscribe. I'm sorry if there's any delay in the audio to mimicking my face. I'll try and fix it. I am using a MacBook, which I don't usually use at the moment. The reason being is my computer is... my usual computer is currently doing a massive update and I needed to get this done during my lunch break from work. So again, without further ado, we will discuss the key points around the squad. Obviously, goalkeepers, we have two. I'm not going to include the likes of Setford or whatever in this team, just because he's not going to be ahead of these two main guys. Obviously, you've got the number one, which is David Raya here. We are using the James Lawrence Alcott tactic board. Obviously, other tactics boards are available. But that just for the purpose of this, we're using this one. Kepa Arrizabalaga is the second choice, and I think that is very good depth in the goalkeeping position. Raya, we know, is excellent in the air, excellent at getting balls for crosses, very good with the ball at his feet. Kepa, similar type profile, maybe not the same ability as David Raya, but the fellow Spaniard certainly can deputise. Unlike last season, when we had Neto as our backup, who was cup-tied, we can actually play Kepa, and I don't believe the level of the Arsenal team drops too much. Obviously, Kepa was the world's most expensive goalkeeper, still is, but we got him for 5 million from Chelsea, a move that I think adds much-needed depth in the team. In terms of goalkeeper, there's only probably one pairing in the Premier League that I would argue is probably stronger than these two, and that would be Mamardashvili and Alisson Becker of Liverpool. Granted, I believe Raya is probably on par with Alisson, but I think Mamardashvili, from what he proved in Spain, is probably a little bit ahead of Kepa. But Kepa obviously was very good for Bournemouth, so let's remember that, respect him, and I do think that is a very strong pairing in the goalkeeping department. So, we're going to go with right back first, and the first name we will discuss is Jurrien Timber, but he is of course partnered with Ben White. Now, for me, in my opinion, I think Ben White is actually a better player than Jurrien Timber. Jurrien Timber offers something different. He's better in the 1v1. You might want to play him against a top team for that regard. But that right-hand side of Arsenal was at its best with White, Ødegaard and Saka running down this wing. White with the overlapping runs and crosses at the byline, whereas Timber is more of an inversion. He's going to come into this area here more and underlap, sort of to go attacking this space. But in a 1v1, I think Timber is definitely a better defender. I think White would be more physical. But they are both very, very good right backs. Obviously, they're both equally versatile. Timber can step in here. He can step in here. White can step in the centre-back role and maybe even CDM from time to time. We've seen it in Leeds. For me, I would say that these arguably, both players individually, obviously White suffered with injuries for the last year and a bit, but they both have a claim to being the best right back each in the Premier League, and that is probably the strongest position in the Arsenal squad. Right back, I think they're both excellent players, and we could certainly do a lot worse than Timber and White. It does also help with White being English. I know he's not played much for England due to his falling out with the backroom staff, but he obviously helps for registration. But both of them phenomenal fullbacks, very athletic, very solid, and obviously add that versatility. Arsenal's backline is, however, probably best summed up as probably the most versatile backline in Europe. We've got Mosquera and Saliba, who are the right-sided centre-back pairing. to dovetail with each other. And then we got Gabriel Magalhaes and Hincapi, who on this list is Kivior, wherever he's gone. There he is. These I basically think the way Arteta is operating this year and looking to operate is everyone has their set place in the squad. So, for example, if Gabriel came out, Hincapi would come in. There would be no Mosquera playing left centre-back, for example. He wants everyone to be on their favoured side. That's the way I keep thinking that Arteta is using the squad this year. And in centre-back, we have a lot of depth. We've got the aggression of Gabriel Magalhaes, who honestly is a threat in both boxes, not just our own. For headers, he's a threat for defensive teams, and I don't think there's been a better centre-back for Arsenal in the last 2 years. I think he is a level at the moment ahead of Saliba, but they complement each other very well. We obviously see when Ødegaard's not on the field and Saka's not on the field, Gabriel does get the captain's armband, so he's part of the leadership group, and it's so vital that he has signed that new contract. I don't think there's a better left-footed, not left-sided, left-footed centre-back in the world, and there's a claim that he could be a top 2 centre-back in the world. Saliba clearly has more ability than probably naturally than Gabriel Magalhaes, but his performance levels, in my opinion, haven't been as good as Gabriel's as of this date. I do think he's more talented. He's probably the most talented or second most talented centre-back in the world and a great talent at 23 or 24 years old. We need to sign him up for a new contract, but I do think this is the best centre-back pairing in the Premier League. Arsenal's strength, before people think I'm being biased, is obviously defensively. That's where their better players are overall in terms of depth, so that stands out. Hincapi is a player who can play left back or left centre back, similar to Kivior, who he replaced, and I believe he will probably see minutes at left centre back in the Cups and in the Champions League. I do not know personally why Hincapi agreed to join Arsenal to be a backup, but that's seemingly the route he's taken. It'll be interesting to see if Gabriel does finally move to Saudi next year, and that is when Hincapi maybe steps in ahead of Gabriel. But the drop down in level between Gabriel and Hincapi, in my opinion, is lesser than the drop down in level between Kivior and Gabriel. Mosquera, unproven, young, most minutes for a 21-year-old centre-half in the world, in Europe at least. 18 or 15 million, seems like a shrewd pickup, can play right back apparently, can play left back from time to time. He made his debut against Liverpool the other day, played very well, thought he was very decent. So it shows that isn't a drop down for Saliba, and Mosquera, or a player of that ability, is something we needed because last season when Saliba missed out, Kivior ended up going to right centre back for a bit, and that isn't something that I wanted to see because Kivior wasn't the best on his weak foot. In terms of the left centre back role, then left back role, we have Calafiori, who I think at this moment in time is the starter, especially after how he played in pre-season. He was very good. And we have Lewis Skelly, who obviously broke through last year, could probably play midfield as well. Calafiori can probably play left centre-back as well, but Calafiori against Liverpool likes to invert. He's a bit of a chaos player. I do think Arteta prefers him over Lewis Skelly, especially at the moment. But Lewis Skelly's 18. Give him time. He signed his new contract. Give him time to develop as a man and a player, and I'm sure that left side is locked down for a long time. You look at Calafiori, he's 23 now. Lewis Skelly's 18. Hincapi's 23, Gabriel's 27, 28, Saliba's 24, Mosquera's 18? 21, sorry, I'm lying. Timber's 24, 25, White I think is 27. It's a very young backline and it's here for a long time to come, and I think we are very strong in the defensive areas. We will go into the DM role because, as I said, I think that Arteta is using players to play one position. So as much as I like Rice as a potential DM, sort of double pivot midfielder, he's been a bit more advanced, isn't he, in recent times. So for me, it looks like we've got Zubimendi and Christian Norgard as the two options in DM. Zubimendi, excellent Rolls Royce of midfielder. I think he started amazingly. I thought he was very good against Liverpool at dropping into that pocket and receiving the ball and playing it off really quickly. A fabulous footballer, £51 million, easy pickup. I think he offers that a bit more movement than, say, Thomas Partey did last year. Norgard seems an experienced deputy, 31 years old. Cheap deal from Brentford. Brentford's captain offers some leadership. We haven't seen him in an Arsenal shirt really this season, so it remains to be seen what he offers, but he seems like a sensible pickup to deputise for Zubimendi for the foreseeable, probably for a year or two anyway. In the left-hand half space, this is the most versatile team position in the team for me. Obviously, you could have Rice, you could have Eze, Havertz has been there from time to time, Trossard has even been used there from time to time. For me, I believe the options are more so going to be more likely to be one of these three: Havertz, Eze, or Rice. I think Eze might be ending up as a left wing option, so I'll put him out there for now. Rice is obviously the main choice. He does double pivot at the moment with Zubimendi, so the first team at the moment is looking a bit more like a 4-2-3-1 with Ødegaard in attacking midfield. But for depth, we're going to put Zubimendi here, Rice a bit further forward. Sorry if you can hear the computer, it sounds like it's about to take off. But yeah, so Zubimendi, Norgard, Rice, Ødegaard, Eze really, Havertz and Muneri Dauman, Marino, very good players. I'll put Marino in this left-hand half space as well for now. I think that Rice and Marino are probably your left 8 players for the foreseeable, offering that box-to-box role, but obviously other players can fill in there when needed. I think Rice is the best midfielder maybe in the Premier League. Is that controversial? I think he's amazing attacking-wise, very good at reading the game defensively, athletically amazing. His long strides he offers from running through the midfield is absolutely immense. Marino likes to keep it short, bit of a Beyblade player, likes to spin and just play a short pass, not very much risk in his game, but a consummate professional who offers some aerial balance to the midfield and is very strong in the air and duels. On that right hand side, we'll talk about Eze in a minute, put him back here. On that right wing, we've got mainly, I think, Saka and Madueke. I think that is excellent depth. We needed backup for the world-class Saka for a few years, and Madueke comes in and can offer both sides depth. He played very good against Liverpool. Saka, unfortunately, has had a few hamstring issues of late. Hopefully, though, when our full-choice team is back, we've got Saka, we've got Madueke, we've got options on that right side. Another right-wing sort of player is Max Dauman. He's been used there of late. It remains to be seen whether he's going to be played in the middle or on the right wing. We'll wait and see what Arteta does for Max Dauman's development. In terms of that right 8 side, we've probably got Ødegaard as the main man, and then you've got Nwaneri just behind him. Nwaneri is obviously 18, but it looks like Arteta only wants to play him in that half space at the present moment in time, especially when coming off the bench, which might be a reason why Dauman was preferred for Madueke the other day against Liverpool. Nwaneri is a raw player, obviously very, very talented. It remains to be seen if he can move on to that next level. I'm going to move the mic away from the computer a little bit because I feel like the fans are going to take off. But yeah, so Nwaneri, excellent player. We all know what he can do. Very talented at young ball. He likes to pick up the ball around here and then just get that curling shot into the top left corner. Very good talent. Ødegaard obviously likes more to play them reverse passes down to Saka or out wide, clipping it into the back post. But very good options there. Both offer different assets. Ødegaard's more of a passer and Nwaneri is more of a dribbler, but very solid options on that right hand side. We then move to the left wing, which, as I said, is a bit compact at the moment. We've got Eze on the left. We've got Trossard, who only really plays left, or maybe left 8 or striker if you want him to. I mean, Eze can probably play number 10, but I don't think Arteta's going to use him that way, really. And Martinelli. This is a very key part. I think Trossard, I think we've got one too many players who can play on the left-hand side, personally. I would like to see Trossard leave before the Saudi or Turkey window ends, because I don't necessarily think he is the best fit for this squad anymore. I do rate Martinelli in terms of his talent. He was horrendous against Liverpool. And then obviously Eze's the spare player. I think if we had Martinelli who's a runner and Eze who's a half space player on that left side and Trossard was, say, sold, we could reinvest the Trossard money at a later date. But for now, that is the left side unit. Eze is clearly the best player there. Martinelli clearly has something a bit different. He is a better direct runner, a bit quicker than Eze. I think Eze's better in the 1v1 in the half space, at playing the pass, being creative. I think I'd like to see Martinelli, I was thinking about this earlier, playing in this half space, maybe in number 10 where he played for Brazil, just because I think his direct running, if his job was literally to run here, press people and try and make a run for a pass, I think he actually could thrive. So it'd be interesting to see if at any point Arteta decided, you know what, we'll play Eze on the left, Martinelli in the sort of number 8 role, and see if Eze can pick the passes to Martinelli. But that's a tactical issue for a different video today. We're just discussing the depth of the squad. Then obviously the main position for Arsenal that they need is strength in the summer. Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus. Sure, you could play Trossard there if you want to, as shown last season. Marino can fill in, but they're not strikers. So, for now, we're going with Gyökeres and Havertz are probably the main two. Jesus, if he comes back from his ACL, can probably play left. He can play right. He can play striker. Very good depth in that attacking area. Probably, again, one too many players. We'll see what happens with Jesus in January. If these two stay fit, I know Havertz is out at the moment, then maybe Jesus might move on to pastures new. But Gyökeres seems like a bulldog left side runner who likes to run the channel that side to try and get in behind and cut in as he did against Leeds. So play down here, cut in, get the ball, shoot into the bottom corner. Havertz, different type of player, likes to fill into this half space. I think a bit more technical than Gyökeres. Probably better for the bigger game is Havertz, whereas Gyökeres is probably better to bully the sort of worser opponents. But that's just what I think. I hope you have enjoyed. I think that Arsenal's depth is absolutely phenomenal, really, across the board now. You've probably got a few positions where there's one too many players. I think we could lose a left winger and be fine. We could lose Jesus and be fine. And arguably, the other point for me where it could be a little bit of an issue going forwards is that position in terms of Hincapié, because he won't have been signed to be a backup, so he might start getting upset, which could be a fault line for the squad in terms of the makeup of the squad going forwards. Madueke is also a worry. If Saka doesn't get injured again towards the end of the season, Madueke might not get the minutes, especially because he'd have to play on the left, where Eze, Martinelli, Madueke, then Trossard, maybe even Jesus could be getting minutes at that point in time. So the fault lines will come where we've got too much depth. I don't think that we can be sort of destroyed by injuries now. I think that we've levelled up in terms of the backroom sort of team. So as much as if you were to lose Saka for an injury, Madueke will come in. Yes, he's slightly worse than Saka, or a lot worse than Saka, but I don't think it'll affect us as much as it did last season. But that's my thoughts. We've got a lot of creativity in the squad. We've got a lot of strength in the squad. I think Arteta now is at the final form of his squad. If it don't work out for him, any new manager can come in and will probably do a very good job, because the squad is basically complete with world-class players and very good players all through the squad. We've got rid of Zinchenko, we've got rid of Kivior, we've got rid of Nelson, we've got rid of the depth that was there, that was Deadwood, and now it's just players who can make an impact. Players that Arteta trusts. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24-man squad that, of all players Arteta has brought in, can use and trust, hopefully to go for the league title. So I think we have probably got the strongest squad in the Premier League. Not necessarily the strongest first team. I think that goes to Liverpool with Wirtz, Isak, Salah, etc. But I think by far we have got the strongest squad in the Premier League. We are stacked and we are ready to go. I hope you have enjoyed. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more from me. Thank you so much for watching this Arsenal related video, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.